everyone, welcome to And It's Just Tuesday. My name is Anenih. I have some amazing guests with us today. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Well, I still remain Wale Ajani, a comrade, social crusader, and an engineer by profession, former president, National Youth Council, and the convener of the Emerging Political Leaders Movement.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Obasi Smith. I'm a disgruntled citizen, and I'm a whaler.
Glad to have you with us. Welcome. What we're going to discuss today in general is the state of the polity, with a special focus on politics. We also want to talk about the former President Obasanjo's recent letter. If we have enough time, we might also put it against the performance of the current administration, and generally try and see if we can gauge what the current state of affairs with the letters, with the third force movement, what effect these will have on voter behavior. Just going straight into the letter, I'll ask the question: do you think Obasanjo has any moral right to write that letter to the current president? Comrade Wale.
Well, very clear position of mine is that in terms of morality, I may not be able to judge that because my Bible tells me judge no one. But in terms of speaking truth to the power, I think he has done something that we should all applaud. Because he's not only the ex-president we have in Nigeria, and for the fact that he has come out boldly. So, although he has been doing that in the past, for me, I believe that he has also initiated the era of open letters, which is we are going to be reading more in a couple of days as countdown to the 2019 election. He has justified the yearnings of average Nigerians. And I'm so happy that I have a whaler beside me. This group of people are increasing every day. In fact, I'm sure that if we are comparing the number of voters and the number of whalers, we have more whalers than the voters. So, and that would show in the 2019 election because we need more whalers to go and vote so that we will have a better government and we will experience good governance in Nigeria. But going back to the issue of former President Obasanjo, to me, it's a message. It's a messenger, and we should not even be bothered about the messenger. We should be bothered about the message. Is whatever what he's telling us or what has been in that, and it's not even a letter. It's a press release. So we should understand. We should look deep into that content of that press release. Is it saying the truth? If it's saying the truth, then we should all take the message. And for my own generation, I think Obasanjo has done his best because you cannot give what you don't have. That is the limit which Obasanjo can give. But what happened to our generation? We should be the actualizer of the message of...
Let me interrupt you, since you talked about whalers. I don't want us to talk about President Obasanjo without looking at his background. So he does have a history of writing letters, like you said. But he does also have a history of influencing the outcomes of elections and the emergence of presidents.
Yes.
So we had President Yar'Adua, who he helped install. He also wrote a letter. We had President Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, who he helped install. He also wrote a letter. And now he helped Buhari emerge, and just 2 years in, he's writing another letter. Do you think these letters are just ways of almost like Pontius Pilate wiping your hands clean of your complicity, so to speak?
Okay.
Let me let Wale go.
Well, I don't think that that is the situation. Obasanjo is the father in the land, and unfortunately for him, he has the ears of every Nigerian, old and young, and in a way, they strongly believe in his words and his perception about happenings and leadership in the land. So I don't think it's a way of washing his hands off, because normally you expect much from people, And when you don't see that much coming, you speak out. And I think
I think the question I'm asking, with regards to his track record, if he's making a recommendation now, given his past of making recommendations that have turned out to be less than impressive, should we listen to him? Should his word be bond now, so to speak?
I don't think we should listen to anybody now. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think.
Why?
I think we should listen to the people coming out to contest in this country. We shouldn't listen to anybody. I think we've passed the era where people will come and tell us or tell Nigerians, vote this person because this person is this and that. No, we want to listen to the people. We want to listen to the contestant. That was what happened. We never listened to Buhari and Jonathan speak in the competitive discussion. We never asked them intriguing questions. You understand? So we don't need to listen to Obasanjo. Yes, what he's doing is timely. We appreciate him. But I don't think we need to listen to him. We need to listen to the people coming out. Let's listen to them. What do they have to offer? What are they bringing on ground? What are they changing? What policies are they rolling to better the lives of people? We are suffering. Nigerians are suffering, and we have suffered enough. So we are not listening to anybody. We are not.
Well, it seems.
My intervention on that particular question is that one, I mentioned something about the message and the messenger. Do we all agree that what Obasanjo has put on in his press release is good? Good. If we all agree.
I think we all agree.
Yes. So now the point.
Yes.
We are. So that means we are all on the same page on that. I think now going straight to your question, we should not look at the messenger called Obasanjo because he has failed us in that area. He has given us, including himself, and I said this without fear or favor, that the president we have produced in Nigeria since 1999 till date are accidental presidents. And you have analyzed by saying that, okay, he left because he himself was brought into power while he was not ready. So now he also gave us people who are not ready to govern in the past. And that's why they produce what they have been. Now, Nigerians, and I key into is, Nigerians need to decide who will be their leader, not who Obasanjo has said that is the best. I'm telling you. That's one. Secondly, then people who are prepared to lead. Because leadership is not also rocket science. You don't just wake up. Gone are the days you come and call you and say, there is an opening here. Come and take the responsibility. Yeah, we need to know now who have the mental capability to lead. We need to know who is intellectually mobile to govern. We need to ask questions. Where are your children? Are they schooling in Nigeria? So that when we go on strike, you can go and relax. We need to ask, what even your health status? Nigerians need to begin to ask questions.
We also need to ask what kind of ministers are you bringing your portfolio.
You understand? These are the things
they should not nominate your portfolio for you. What are you doing in the
sector?
And
you should not use Nigeria to settle your political allies, or your community allies. You should use, Nigeria, and you shouldn't be a father of, President Buhari said, I belong to nobody. I belong to everybody. But it's not happening. It's not the word of mouth. It's by action.
I'll take you up on this point. Just hold it. About federal character. But what I want to talk about, again, with the letter, it seems the president was listening. I think in the immediate aftermath of the letter, Babache was picked up. And we have the...
Picked up and put where? And I'm yet to see any picture of where he has been picked up. When you see the media, the news that we've been hearing about, Babache invited. Anybody can be invited. Even me, I can be invited.
Pastors have been invited.
So it's not a matter of, he has not been arrested.
No, but we are seeing movement, is what I mean. We also have seen the APC restructuring committee, I think, tendered their reports.
Because there is fire on the mountain.
Are coming.
No,
who is the leader of APC?
Is that not
the question is that who is the leader of APC?
Is that not the beauty of a democracy?
No, that's not the beauty. That is deception.
No, you can't deceive us again.
That is deception. You see, the problem I have with APC is not that they're incompetent. Another problem I have with them is that they are filled with lies and deception. From the one they've been deceiving us. So because Obasanjo wrote a letter now, Babache has now committed a crime. But they never saw anything with what he did. In fact, this man boldly told the media who is the government.
Who is the presidency?
Who is the presidency? He boldly told them who is the president. So you can imagine. So you see Buhari and his cabals and whatever. They know what they're doing, but they can't deceive us, and it's painful because they are taking us for granted.
No, but you know, my concern with your position on this letter, Obasanjo's letter, is you say on one hand we shouldn't listen to him. You say on one hand the reaction is deception, but in that letter I think he ended it quite clearly with the way forward. This government has failed. We need a coalition of Nigerians. Which coalition of Nigerians? Which sounds very suspiciously like the Third Force movement. And you know, we had a conversation just before the camera started rolling. You are with the Third Force movement. So am I now to dismiss the Third Force movement as endorsed by Obasanjo as another scam?
You see, like I was telling some of the gentlemen outside, if you look at it outside PDP and APC, I don't think there is any credible party that is the first to them, or the third force or the coalition. I don't think Nigerians even need that. Like I maintained clearly, and I still maintain, what we need in this country is that we need to know our people. We need to know those coming out for leadership. We need to scrutinize them. We need to see them face to face. We need to have a discussion with them. We need to interact with them. It's not a matter of coalition, because if you have a coalition and it's still the same disgruntled people from different parties, it's the same problem. So coalition or no coalition, we don't care. What we need, if APC or PDP or whatever, ABGA, COA or whatever, they're bringing out anybody, we want to see these people. We want to discuss with them. We want to force them to make commitments.
Comrade Wale, what's your own vision of the Third Force?
Yeah, for me, Third Force is not new in our polity. In 2015, it was the Third Force that made Buhari to win election. The only difference is that they were heard, but they were not seen as in called the Third Force, because even APC is a coalition, and that's why after the election they could not work together, and that's why you are seeing what we are getting in the polity today. But one thing is that we need to understand that Nigeria belongs to everybody, and we are all equal. And as Nigerians, we need to also come out to say that, oh, we need to, we don't want bad governance. And how you can do that is through our PVC. How many of us today, there's so much hunger, there's so much anger in the land. There's no doubt about it. If you put 10 people together, 8 of us are angry. Even me, I'm angry on studio now. The only thing is that, the only thing is that I cannot go violent, because that will not solve the problem. But the point is that the Third Force is good, but we are not going to have a Third Force of the same disgruntled, because when you look at some of the people that those names that we are seeing here and there, they have either been in PDP or they have been in ACN or AMPP or APC. And because they have not probably gotten what they are looking for, now we want new people who have not been there before. We want people that can give us a new start, because that's what Nigeria needs now. We are tired of these so-called old brigades.
But for a country as complex as Nigeria is, can we at this point afford a novice to get
No.
I'm speaking specifically about the presidential office.
I agree with you. In fact, in the Emerging Political Leaders Summit, which is a movement of young political leaders, there are a lot of young people that say they want to be president. We are not discouraging them. But it takes a lot of things to be a president of a nation. We know that also in this country, we've heard about Aerofis of this world, we've heard about Ribadu, we've heard about every other young people that when they were serving, they are very young. They were given opportunity. But in the last dispensation, or the current dispensation, how many young people are in government? Because you must be given opportunity to either showcase yourself and go through a process. Before, I believe that there are two sets of people, the young and the experienced. We are not saying that the experience should go away, because we need the experience of the old. And everybody prays to be old. Nobody wants to die young. Because if death is coming out, we'll run away. So, but the point is that we need to balance it. But we don't want somebody that would divide Nigeria. We don't want somebody that does not care about the killing that is going on in the part of the country. So far, it's not affecting him. He's covered within. And somebody that will say A, that I'm going to do A, and when the time comes, he will not be able to do the A. We don't want people like that. People who are deceptive.
To be fair to the president, he has spoken. Yeah. He has acted. I think there was some discontent because he sent the police to Benue instead of the army. But, you know, I sense an irony there, because we said you shouldn't be sending the army to quell internal civil disturbances. You should send the police. He has sent the police, he has sent the IG, but that still isn't...
Sending the IG, sending the police is not enough. In fact, that is the least of it.
Why is the president himself not there?
Thank you very much. Why is he not going there?
Then the same president on a Friday, which was a sacred day for the Muslim. Some governors, 7 governors, went to him and said, "We want you to run." And for God's sake, something just happened there. He cannot tell them, "All of you, get out of this place." Then let the news carry it and say, "Oh, this is a serious-minded president." But he accommodated them, and Rufai could come out, Governor could come out and say he has no apology to come and say that the president should run when people are being killed in a nation that
this president,
these people they don't have human feelings.
This president is what will I call it? I don't want to use the word wicked, but I would say this president has no sympathy in him. Imagine you are governing a nation, and some people were killed in a nation that you are the chief security officer, and 7 people, they came over to tell you that they're endorsing you, and your son had an accident, you went there, but you've not gone to see and show concern about citizens. That means he doesn't value lives.
I don't want to defend the president, because I personally think he should have gone.
He should have been there.
I am aware that he has a different style of governance. He doesn't speak to the people. He tends
That's
to
not style.
He tends to stay.
That's being insensitive. He's not style. You can't call that style.
There is a universal style.
He tends to stay.
That's insensitive.
He tends to stay away.
If he doesn't have it,
he tends to stay away from these public things. And one thing you said we mentioned about him is that he doesn't fake it. He doesn't know how to pretend. And if this is his style, then it's his style for him. And there are some people like, I've done what I need to do. Why do I need to smile for the cameras or fake cry? I've secured the place. I don't know if you are aware, they've constituted a committee to look into this problem.
Committees again.
Headed by the vice president, who I'm sure a lot of us have a degree of confidence in, and 9 governors. So if the presidency is saying that they are taking real practical steps to solve this problem, don't they get any kudos for that? Does a photo op take precedence over real solutions?
Can I ask this question? Who is the father of the nation?
I would say the president.
Thank you very much. And in our families, if we lost someone and people come around, the elderly person that comes here, there's a way when you even see them, or you lose somebody. I mean, you know someone and your pastor visits you, who is your spiritual father. There's a way he will talk to you, and you begin to see it from another angle. For president not going there is not about himself, because the day you are elected as president, you are no more yourself, and that's why you can use private jets, but with the money of people like us. I mean, Nigerians, taxpayers' money, and you can fly anywhere, because even while he was sick, we are praying for him.
Yes.
So now that people are killing people, he cannot go there. I don't think that is fair enough.
And
no matter how his style of leadership, and if that is his style of leadership, then it should just stop in 2019.
Please,
and go back.
You should stop in 2019 and go back, because he did not even release a president immediately.
He did release a president.
When?
I think on the date.
On the day?
On the day.
No, you have to clarify that.
I think on the day.
You have to clarify that, not on the day.
I think on the, I was watching out for it. I think on the
Not on the day. You have to clarify that. Not. I think he released the press statement the following day. Not on the day. Not on the day. And I want to ask a question. You said something about setting up committees or setting up a committee. How many problems in this country has committee solved? Committee for this, committee to investigate that, committee to look into this. Wait, see, in a situation like this, we don't need committees. Be firm. Be firm.
What I do think, what I do believe is that, especially for this crisis, is that we do need a systemic, holistic solution approach to solving the problem. And I think that is what we're going to get from this committee. It involves the governors, it involves the presidency, and I think they're going to find. So for me, that is a positive. I might disagree with he's not going, but I think I cannot fault the fact that steps are being taken to try and resolve it. So that's a good thing for me. And why I bring that up is to just, again, look at the third force, look at the letter. Is this government a failure just because we don't have a sympathetic president? Is that just the only metric we're going to use?
No.
We do have some indices that are rising. We're rising on the ease of doing business. The economy is out of recession. We have growth in some sectors.
Yeah.
So they are.
I didn't know the economy is out of recession.
No, we are out of a recession.
His pocket will determine whether the economy is out of recession.
Our stock exchange.
So it's relative.
Is going like a rocket. It's unbelievable. We are having investors coming back, even if they are only just investing in portfolios, not really in the economy. But things are looking up. In an election year, we usually have a depression in an election year, but things are looking up. Are we again just saying? Are we sure we've given this man? It's been 2.5 years almost. Have we given him enough time?
I will say something. You see, based on their promises, based on their talk.
On whose promise?
APC and Buhari.
On Buhari's promises?
Yes.
I remember.
Yes, I remember speaking boldly.
No, I remember. Again, just to. Buhari has tried to make a clear distinction between himself and the party. I don't know whether I agree with that, but he has. I remember when he spoke in Chatham House, and he was asked a question about his 100-day promise. And he said, I never made such a statement, even though the party at the time had released a manual saying that. So he has said he's running on insecurity, on the economy, and on anti-corruption. And he wants to be judged on that. So when you say based on his promises, if you can focus on the promises he has owned up to.
Before I focus on the promises he has owned up to, I want to say something. You can't distance a man from his words or from his family. No. APC, he came into power through APC. And he can't say, when they were making all those promises, he can't say he wasn't aware of them. He was. He was aware of them. So he can't say, we can't excuse him. We can't give him that latitude. No. He was there. And now, let me speak specifically because of timing on the areas that he wants to be judged. Security, what we have is this security.
Boko Haram is better.
Boko Haram is better, you think so? No, Boko Haram is not better. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you think Boko Haram is better. You think Boko Haram is better because PDP is not doing enough. They are not doing enough to sell propaganda on what Boko Haram is doing, just the way they did when Jonathan was in power. That is why you think so. Check the statistics, check the death rate. Are we talking about herdsmen? Are we talking about only in Abuja here? Check the rate of theft, robbery, and killings. Cab robbery, cab killings. What security do we have? The only security you have is yourself. It's yourself. So if we want to judge him in that aspect, he has done nothing. He has done nothing. They told us that Boko Haram has been defeated.
Technically.
No, they didn't use the word technically. They said Boko Haram has been defeated. Now they later came and told us technically Boko Haram has been defeated. And why would they need to loan or take out $1 billion to still fight this Boko Haram that has been defeated?
Again, the presidency clarified that it was for security in general, not just.
I'm talking of security in general. What do we have? Just in Abuja that will leave, you see what is going on. And you're talking about, what do you want to say about the economy?
I think the president has tried his best.
In 2.5 years?
Yes, I'm not
I love to be objective when it comes to issues, and I stand on this position of you cannot give what you don't have. That's the best the president could give. We like it or not, it's not like before that when we want to go to a public place, we get scared because of the bombing that was going on in the last dispensation.
That's true.
So that's an improvement. And you see, Nigeria is getting bigger and bigger. And you want to solve the problem of Nigeria, it has to be holistic. Then you also have to get more good hands to work with you. Where president has actually lacked is those people that has been working with the president, or maybe the president himself is not accessible because president has he needs to give directive in some of these things that needs to be done. So in terms of security, I'll give him, at least for me, I would say he has, although it's not a pass mark, but we can give him like maybe 35.
35?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned.
You are gracious.
Because that's, in 2.5 years, he has about
an improvement.
But I think our position should be more of, can it be better? Is that the best? You know, when you are going for a football match, you select your best 11. Is Buhari even one of our best 11 when it comes to presidency in this country? We know what happened in 2015. It's between Buhari and Jonathan. And it's also obvious that some people doesn't want Jonathan, so they prefer it's not like they love Buhari, but they just feel, okay, Jonathan should go. Now, let's go back to what he has said, and that's what we in emerging political leaders are trying to do now, that let's get our presidential aspirants, because there are 3 levels of...
I'll just ask you this. I have a serious problem with the third force movement, simply because we're exactly 390 days away from the presidential election. Yeah. You don't have a candidate.
See, there are candidates. No. There are aspirants. There's no candidate anywhere.
You don't have an aspirant.
No, there are no. Let me tell you how it works.
Can you tell me a third force aspirant?
No. You can't say this is a, because when you are trying to bring people together, and I'm not speaking for third force. Before the emergence of third force, we come together, and that's the emerging political leaders, because we believe that they've been telling us we are leaders of tomorrow. And some of us, we are probably in our early 40s, some are late 30s, and so on and so forth. When are we going to take charge? So we decided to come together. And our whole strategy is that, there are 3 levels of in the electioneering process. 1, you must first aspire. If you don't aspire, you cannot be a candidate. And it is not all aspirant that becomes a candidate. And it is not all candidates that wins the election. But at that level of aspiration, you may have fantastic ideas. You might have fantastic solution. But because of the internal politics in our parties, they won't give you tickets. And when you don't get the ticket, you can't be a candidate.
No, but my problem with this, again, I want to remind us, we have 390 days. If I believed I was the right candidate, the right person to lead Nigeria, I would have my campaign set up by now. You would know me. So, for instance, I know. For instance, I know Sule Lamido.
Yeah.
I don't know Atiku because he has not declared. I don't know Donald Duke because he has not.
No, Donald Duke has told us that he's running. Atiku has told us he's running.
He says no. When
you talk about declaration, the only person that has declared officially is Fayose.
Fayose has.
He's the only one that every other person has been consulting. He has not. None of them. Yes, they are all doing consultation, which is part of the process.
For me, that is a problem, because at the beginning of this conversation, you said, as citizens, we need to interrogate the candidates.
And that's you. I'm giving you.
You are not presenting candidates for interrogation.
No. You can't bring. You are not bringing a candidate. What we are doing, and I'm trying to give you in March, by the grace of God, we are bringing aspirants, because nobody as at that period will be a candidate.
Aspirants.
We are bringing aspirants for Nigerians to scrutinize them, as he has said. Ask them questions, uncensored questions. not the kind of questions that come under the debate, presidential debate.
Not questions you must have given to them.
No. And we are talking about young Nigerians who are focused, who are professionals, to come and engage them and ask them questions.
Looking purely at merit, or are we looking at geographic?
If you aspire today, we'll put you on that platform. Mm-hmm. We don't care whether you belong to SDP or PDP or what have you.
Do you care about winning?
Of course, a process.
Okay, so
it's only when we identify you that you are a good material, then your popularity will. Then you can now win.
Let me ask you: do you think a third force, unknown aspirant at this point, can actually defeat the PDP and APC in the 2019 presidential election?
Yes.
How can you plot? What's the route to Aso Rock?
The route to Aso Rock is, first of all, very importantly, that people are joking with. If you can play on religious lines.
You can.
Yes. I'm telling you, people, let me tell you something. I'm going to paint something for you. And we have neglected it in so many ways, and that is why we have missed it. Because if you see...
I disagree completely.
No, I'm going to explain to you. I really disagree with you. But I'm telling you something. I'm telling you something that's going to happen in 2019. Like never before. Especially the church. They are beginning to have a united voice. Like never before.
But
if you notice what is happening now, on the pulpit and the pews, they are beginning to push Christians.
Is that better for Nigeria?
That will not make us a better nation.
It's better for Nigeria.
It will not make us a better nation. But let me tell you, you are talking about plotting. If I want to go for the numbers, if I'm an aspirant, I want to go for the numbers, and I want to plot what I will do. I'm going to go through that angle. But let's forget about that. But what I'm going to say, the way I'm going to paint it is this: anybody who is going to go there must first of all understand that we're a cosmopolitan society. Because you have the extreme northerners to deal with, you have the extreme southerners to deal with. An average woman will not vote APC. Just forget it. You don't get what I'm saying. An average South man will not vote APC. There is nothing you can do about it. Now, where you have the imbalances, the Southwest and the Middle Belt, and which of what you are seeing now, you can see how it's going to swing.
I don't want this argument.
Let me hear your opinion. I
don't want this argument to be about APC.
So what would you want this conversation to be about?
The conversation should be about Nigeria, that we need to be better off where we are now.
No, we cannot throw away our diversity.
Listen to me. We all know that in 2015, it was so obvious that the North wants presidency. And I keep telling people now, I believe in the diversity so much that even people that come to me, because I engage presidential aspirants, and I know a senior Nigerian that wanted to run, and he's from the Southeast. And I told him, you have to consider the fact that where you are coming from. Do you want to win an election? But he has a diverse opinion that, Nigeria should just choose. I said, it's not going to work. Because we need to understand the fact that we have the North and the South. And Nigeria has never been divided like the way we are now. So we need to be realistic. And I don't want to talk about party, but you need a party as a vehicle to win any election. But the point is that as this process is going on, Nigerians in 2015, many people who voted Buhari are not APC members.
That's true. Yeah. So
the same thing is going to happen. And now he has talked about churches. People are talking about your PVC now more than before. I also saw a press release from a Jamatu, one of these Muslim organizations, telling people to go and register. So the sensitization is both sides. It's not in one side.
My worry about
so Nigerians are just yearning for good governance.
My worry
and they
about
want a leader.
My worry about this is that we are not yearning for good governance. We are yearning for anything but Buhari.
No, that's not.
And that is exactly what we did in 2015. And because we don't have a candidate that we are jumping to, so to speak.
We can't just jump to a candidate.
So why are we rejecting Buhari if we don't know what the alternative or who the alternative is?
Nigerians,
because the alternative might be worse.
We rejected Jonathan. We didn't even know.
And look at how where we ended up.
So
That's my point.
The problem of President Buhari now, the challenge he's having now is that the expectation was so high. And
the promises were so high.
One of the challenges again is that Buhari is old. We should understand the fact that this is a man that has never used computer in his life. The world is running on technology. He does not understand technology. And if you look at the last dispensation, there is a ministry for ICT that is running, and they brought somebody who understands that. So it was easy. Now, you brought a lawyer who is also an arcade human being to come and head the ministry of ICT. Now, what do you expect? The problem we are having now, what we need now is that people who are intellectually mobile, people who can make things happen so that Nigeria will not be at the back. In fact, we are too backward. So it's not about Buhari.
But why is it is it then not about the PDP?
Let me give you an example.
Why is it? That's the question I'm asking. If it's not about
former chairman of,
if it's not about Buhari,
yes.
Why is it not about the PDP?
Well, as far as Nigerians are concerned, they believe that PDP has been in power for 16 years. And all we hear about them is that corruption. And people that have even served in PDP, they are the one coming to tell us that their party is rubbish, is this, is that. And if you are my father-in-law now, and I've come to your house to come and marry your daughter, and you are telling me your daughter cannot cook, your daughter is dirty, do you think I will wait? I will run away. So that's what is happening to PDP. And very soon, it will happen to APC, because people inside APC will come and tell us that party has no internal democracy, that party is this. So that's the problem.
I think they're not organized. They're still finding the balance. They don't have it. And Nigerians cannot.
You know, we talked about the nature of the country. It's divided. We have the north and the south, basically just, and my concern for the alternative party, for a third force party, whilst I agree that it's good for democracy, I think it energizes the system. I don't see how it manages to get the numbers. We have 50 million that voted in the last election. Yeah. I think I heard a statistic where Kanu has gotten at least 1 million more votes since 2015. And those, to my mind, those voters, new voters, are not third force voters. Yeah. They are voting specifically for a particular candidate. And you said the JNI, for instance, is encouraging people to vote. They are serving their own interest. The PDP is encouraging people to vote. Yeah. They are serving their own interest.
Exactly.
Where then does the third force come in, apart from being a spoiler?
The third force, they are the people. That's the same people. Because I belong to, as I'm talking to you now, I belong to the third force. But I'm a card-carrying member of a political party. That does not mean that...
Is this Obi's third force or Obasanjo's third force?
Well,
I don't think there's Obi's third force, but I think it's a one third force.
There's one third force.
Yes, I don't think there's Obi's third force.
And again, I believe that at the appropriate time, it's a process. Consultation is ongoing now. People want to know that, okay, what are you bringing that is different? And that was what APC was able to do then.
So you do have an opportunity here. What is the third force bringing in your mind that is different from anything APC or PDP can bring?
I think the third force, what they're bringing majorly is to see how we can have better leadership than what we have now. And also for our economy to be back so that Nigerians, the hunger in the land can at least, and the level of unemployment among our younger generation is becoming alarming. And that's why you see all the thefting here and there. Go to our police stations today. You record more crime than what we used to have. It's also unfortunate that we don't have a crime channel in this country. You will have like, wow, so this is happening in this actor. So the point is that we have leaders who do not care. Secondly is the fact that we have leaders who are not using the best. And look at Obasanjo's press release. Because I didn't study economics does not mean I don't have friends who can. If I become a president of Nigeria today, I know some of my friends that I can call because I know they have done well, they are professionally, they can support me to succeed. But when you have leaders who do not have this kind of network, when you have leaders who do not believe in others except people who are coming from his community, how can you tell me that in the security apparatus, you cannot democratize it and have people from the south or people from the middle belt to handle our security?
You brought up this issue again, and I said I'll mention about federal character. Yeah. Does competence have to suffer for federal character? For instance, you talked about if you become president, you will bring the people you know. Yeah. Is there then anything wrong with the president entrusting sensitive positions with people he believes he knows are competent?
You see, Nigeria is a very dynamic, a very diverse nation in terms of our ethnic backgrounds and culture and what have you. Are you telling me that we have over 300 ethnic groups? Go and do your research. There's no ethnic group that does not have competent people. No ethnic group.
Not
because
in any generation.
When I was growing up, and they used to tell me, maybe my environment, hey, Igbo people, they are this, they are that, they are. When I grew up and I was in the university, I relate with Igbo people, I relate with Hausa people. In fact, I used to tell people that if I know what I know now, I would have married from any tribe. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come to federal character, for me, I believe that because we want to make sure that we have a spread, because this is Nigeria. You north, south. In fact, even within the north, we have the northwest, the northeast, and the north central. You now need to democratize it because we are on that democracy.
Even if competence...
You never look for the most competent person in that
even though that person is not as competent as...
Listen to me. There's nothing like...
That's my question.
The point is that if something is zoned to a particular place now, although some of us, we don't believe in zoning, but we are comparing ourselves with America that have been in democracy for 300 years. Why are we deceiving ourselves? Are we a country of deceivers? I will not deceive myself and say, because I'm looking for my brother, if I become president today.
No, but I think some ideals are universal, like democracy, for instance. Yes. Because I've heard the argument, Nigeria is not ready for democracy.
Yeah.
I don't think because we are new to it.
It's a process. We are still evolving. But the point is that...
Speaking about evolution, the National Assembly recently, I think, is looking to adjust the electoral timetable. Yeah. So
on whose interest?
So National Assembly...
No, on whose interest?
National Assembly. But one of my friends defines politics as personal interest. That's the definition of politics. It's always about your interest. Yeah. As a rep, you're only interested in the people who sent you. You're not interested in the rest of the nation. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. If the individual interest collectively is the collective interest. So, but they are looking to
So third force is about collective interest.
So they are
looking... not about...
No, they are looking to reschedule it. We'll have National Assembly first, I think then governors, and then the presidency. To your mind, what's the implication of this, and does it in any way help or mar your third force agenda?
Well, that strategy is good for third force, as far as I'm concerned, because by the time you know who you're, and Nigerians are even tired, they are angry with the National Assembly people. So by the time they know we're able to elect, and thank God for the kind of result collation system that we are going to use now. So it's not going to be like we are still waiting for one result to come. So we will know, and that will determine who we are going to vote for, even in the gubernatorial election. And that will also determine who is going to be our president. So it's in order.
No, I think it's good because it's going to take away the confusion the voters face when they go out there to vote. It's going to take away the confusion, because when most times you have the presidential election and the National Assembly election at the same time, and it's very confusing. So I think it's going to ease the process or the decision.
I know you asked about the interest. Whose interest is it in? And we've seen the bandwagon effect. If the president wins, people follow on. But are you not worried that if you have a standalone presidential election, an incumbent president determined to win with all the security forces, with INEC, with everything at his disposal on that day, you are not concerned about the transparency of that process on that day?
I think our election technology is getting better. I think it's getting better, especially just like you said, the method of collating results and all that. And my concern is what you just said, about the federal might, because we saw what has been happening in some of the local government elections, and how somebody like Wike came out and cried out how the federal government is empowering militants and all that. Those are big reasons to worry. So that is my concern. That was my concern, because we also have in the north, Christians who are not Northerners, who might not agree with the ideology of what the president is saying. So we also have that fear that they might be oppressed and all that. So it's a valid point, which I cannot clearly give an answer to that. But if this president is the president we trust.
Why are you voting him out?
No, because I don't trust him. I don't trust him to protect people who are not on his side. I don't trust him to do that. Because in fact, he has shown it in so many ways that he can't be trusted in protecting those who are not on his side. So I don't trust him. But if it's a president that we can trust, I think it's not a problem. But we don't trust him to do that. So it's a big reason to worry. But I feel if the National Assembly and the governorship election comes before the presidential election, I think that would be.
Final words. We're coming to the end.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned on that, I think it's good for our polity. I don't have any fear about whether they will use federal might, because most people, even in the National Assembly today, they are not worth to be there. Some of them rode on the president or change mantra. And it's good now. If we have it, let it be standalone. National Assembly, people will now vote based on who you are.
Fantastic. So final words, we've come to the end of the program. Let's just try and wrap up very quickly. Final words, we've been talking about Nigerian politics and the polity, and the electoral process, voter behavior, this mystical, magical third force. So in conclusion, can you just give us...
My final word is very clear, and that is, if you really want a change, true change in government, we must have a strong coalition, irrespective of our political affiliation. And we must be ready to elect the best of the best at this point in time, so that Nigeria will not be stagnant. Nigerians can move forward. Then again, we must also understand that the process leading to an election is not going to be for me alone or you alone. So all of us must go get our PVC, tell our neighbors to get registered, and on the day of election, we should not see it as a public holiday. We should come out, vote for the candidate of our choice. We should not allow anyone to give us money to vote for somebody. We can collect the money, but see, you will still go ahead and vote for the right candidate. And let's all of us participate in the process, because it comes once in 4 years, and we must make sure that we are part of it.
Okay, my final word to every Nigerian, I would say, don't vote party, don't vote your pastor's words, don't vote your imam words, don't vote because you are paid, don't vote because you are told to do that. Vote because you know the candidate, you've asked questions, you know what he has to offer, and you've seen what he has to offer. Vote for hope, vote for the future. And finally, on that same note, pass on the information to your neighbor. Beg your neighbor to participate. Beg your friends to participate. beg your church members, your mosque members, beg everybody to participate, because together we can win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. This has been And It's Just Tuesday. It's been a pleasure having our guest here with us today. Until next time, bye-bye.